Hello everyone. Before we begin today's topic, let's understand why this chapter is included in entrepreneurship. As you know, there are different branches of accounting such as financial accounting, cost accounting and management accounting. And today's topic, inventory management or inventory control, is actually a part of cost accounting. Now you might wonder, if inventory control belongs to cost accounting, then why is it included in entrepreneurship? The reason is very simple. Every entrepreneur, whether running a manufacturing business or a trading business, has to make decisions about inventory every single day. If these decisions are wrong, which means you order inventory more than required or you order inventory less than required, then the business may face unnecessary cost, either shortage of cost, inventory interruption in production, or even loss of customers. That is why I really like CBSE's entrepreneurship. I have heard teachers or heard students or just criticizing entrepreneurship book, but I really like entrepreneurship because they have given every concept in a very systematic manner. That is why CBSE has included this topic in entrepreneurship to help you understand that one of the most practical aspects of running a business. So this chapter is also very important from board examination point of view. Every year, question based on economic order quantity or reorder point and safety stock are frequently asked. If you understand the logic behind these concepts, instead of memorizing the formula, solving numerical questions become much easier and even the theoretical concepts become crystal clear. That's my promise to you. Now let's understand these concepts with a real life business example. Okay, start. So, suppose you are an entrepreneur. If you are running a manufacturing business, what do you need? You need a regular supply of raw material to produce finished goods. On the other hand, if you are running a trading business, you need to maintain adequate stock of the finished goods that you purchase and sell to customers. Your inventory should never be out of stock because that may stop production or prevent you from meeting customer demand. However, ordering more stock than required is also not a good decision because excess inventory blocks your money, increases storage cost and reduces profitability. So every entrepreneur has to answer two very important questions. First question, how much quantity should be ordered each time? And because ordering too much increases carrying cost, while ordering too little increases ordering frequency and the risk of stock out. The quantity that minimizes the total inventory cost. The quantity that minimizes the total inventory cost is called the economic order quantity. So basically, how much quantity should an entrepreneur order? For that, he calculates economic order quantity. Clear? Now, second, when should a new order be placed? An entrepreneur determines a minimum stock level that act as a warning signal. That stock has reached this level, it means this is the time to order new inventory. An entrepreneur determines a minimum stock level that act as a warning signal. As soon as inventory reaches that level, a fresh order is placed. It means this is that alarm act as a warning signal that this is the right time to place new order. So this level is known as reorder point. But what if the supplier delays the delivery or demand suddenly increases? To deal with such uncertainties, businesses maintain some extra inventory, and that inventory is called safety stock. It acts as a buffer and ensures that business operations continue smoothly even during unexpected situations. Let's now learn each of these concepts one by one with simple numerical example. But before that, I like to quote one example. Let's say I am a stock manager, I'm an inventory manager, and my employee comes to me and asks him, ma'am, we have to order new stock. How much should we need to order? I said, I just randomly gave the number. I said, okay, you order 1,000 units. 1,000 units ordered. Now, once 1,000 units ordered and we have received those 1,000 units, now that person comes to me, ma'am, that now we are out of stock. Why we are out of stock? We ordered 1,000 units, ma'am. No, but the requirement was of 2,000. Oh, now what do? Next time when that person comes to me again, ma'am, how much to order? This time you order 2000 units. Okay, now this time that person ordered 2000 units. Now again that person comes back to me after receiving the order. I said, now what happened? He said, ma'am, now we have got excess of the stock. We actually needed 1500. Oh, last time you said 2000, now you are saying 1500. What exactly I am doing? As a manager, I am doing wrong because I am taking the decisions on the basis of guess. An entrepreneur businesses cannot work on guess basis. So here, what I should do as a manager, I should calculate economic order quantity, that how much quantity is actually needed. Then I should tell my employees that, okay, order this much of the quantity. That's the basic concept of economic order quantity. So let's understand and have better understanding of these numericals. Understand economic order quantity. In the formula of economic order quantity, there are three components. One is annual demand. What is the meaning of annual demand? Annual demand is the future demand, that how much demand you are expecting for your goods to be in future. So this is future demand for the whole year, future or expected demand for whole year, and this demand is calculated or estimated on the basis of past performance. And annual demand is denoted by D. Annual demand is denoted by D. Okay. Second element is cost of placing order, which is also called ordering cost. So if in your question ordering cost is given or cost of placing order is given, one and the same thing. Let's understand the meaning of ordering cost of inventory. Ordering cost inventory is the cost incurred every time a business places the order for inventory, irrespective of number of units ordered. Fine. So ordering cost is the cost which a entrepreneur spends while giving the order of inventory. In a very simple way, we can say ordering cost means the expenses incurred in the process of purchasing or ordering inventory from supplier. Now, what can be the examples of ordering cost? For example, the transportation or delivery charges. If there are any transportation or delivery charges for any order, then that is part of ordering cost. Or telephone, internet or email expenses which you have used for placing the order, or preparing and processing the purchase order, inspection and receiving costs when the goods arrive, administrative expenses involved in ordering, or payment processing and documentation cost. These all are part of ordering cost. And ordering cost is incurred per order. Ordering cost is always included and it is always incurred per order, not per unit. That is why in your question, whenever the ordering cost is given, it is never given per unit to you, it is always given per order. Okay, is denoted by P. Then we have next is carrying cost. It is called carrying cost or holding cost. Now let's talk about carrying cost. Carrying cost is also called holding cost. Basically, it is the cost of keeping the inventory in storage until it is sold or used in production. So in a simple terms, we can say carrying cost means the expenses incurred for storing and maintaining inventory over a period of time. What are the examples of carrying cost? Where do we keep the inventory? We keep inventory in warehouse. So the very first example of carrying cost is warehouse rent or storage charges. And when we keep the inventory in the warehouse to keep it risk free, we get the insurance done also. So insurance on inventory is also part of carrying cost. Salaries of the warehouse staff, electricity, security and maintenance expenses, risk of damage, spoilage or theft, risk of getting the things obsolete, or interest on or opportunity cost of money blocked in inventory. Keep it three components in the formula of economic order quantity. So what's the formula of economic order quantity? Economic order quantity is equal to root of 2PD upon C, where P is cost of placing order, D is annual demand and C is carrying cost or holding cost. If question will be there for the calculation of economic order quantity, then these three items will be given to you in the question. If you want to understand the derivation of this formula, that how this formula is derived, then write down in the comment box. I will explain the derivation of this formula, although derivation is not in your entrepreneurship syllabus. I'm telling you again, derivation of this formula is not in your syllabus. Just if you are curious that how this formula is derived, then I can explain it to you. It is derived. Let's understand this question. In manufacturing business, company estimates annual demand for raw material 12,000 units. You always should mark your item in your question, like I have done here. Annual demand, how much it is? 12,000 units. So it is marked by D. Ordering cost, which means cost of placing order, it is 500, mark it P. Carrying cost or holding cost, it is marked by C. So these three items are given to you. So let's calculate economic order quantity. Formula of economic order quantity we know is 2 PD upon C. So what is 2? P is, it is given to you here, 500. Cost of placing order is 500. D is annual demand, which is 12,000, divided by C. C is the carrying cost, which is 12. So 1,000. In root, what we get? 1,000. This 1,000. 500 multiplied by 2 is 1,000. And this 1,000. Let's take out 1,000 from this. So our value is 1,000 units. It is, what is our value? Our answer is 1,000 units is your economic order quantity. Now what does it mean? It implies that every time an entrepreneur should order 1,000 units. Once he has calculated it, then it's good enough for him. Every time he can order 1,000 units to fulfill the annual demand of 12,000 units. This is the meaning of economic order quantity. Now, what is this B part given here? It is asking how many orders should be placed in a year. How many orders should be placed in a year? I said, what is your annual demand? It says my annual demand is 12,000 units. Okay. Your annual demand is 12,000 units, and how much quantity you have to order in one go? That is your economic order quantity. How much quantity to be ordered in one go? It says 1,000 units. That's what we have calculated here. Then it is clear how many times in the year he will place the order. How many orders should he place in a year? So number of orders to fulfill the demand of 12,000 units is 12,000 is the total annual demand. At one time he will order 1,000 units. So how many orders he will place throughout the year? 12 orders. He will place 12 orders throughout the year to fulfill this demand of 12,000 units. I hope it is clear to you people. This is your economic order quantity. Now, next, let's solve the question from our CBSE book. Let's write down the question. Check it. It is given in your book as an example, because no practical questions are given for practice. So after in the description box, I have given the assignment for practice. So let's see this example given in your CBSE book. You can check, it is written on my screen now. So as per this example, you can see what it says. Annual quantity demanded is 1,200. Annual quantity demanded. Annual quantity demanded, which means D is given to you. How much it is? 1,200 units. It says at the rate of 100 per month. I don't have to do anything with this because it is not part of my formula. In my formula, I just need to see three things. What is my formula? 2 PD upon C. D is here. Now let's calculate P. What is P? Cost of placing order. It is given to you in the next line. Cost of placing an order and receiving good is rupees 500 per order. Inventory holding cost is 30. Inventory holding cost. Holding cost, I told you. Holding cost and carrying cost is one and the same thing. How much it is? Rupees 30 per annum. So this is C. D is given, P is given, C is given. Now what we have to do? We just have to fill the values. 2 into P is 500, D is 1,200 and C is 30. So how much it is? 40,000. In root, let's take the value of 40,000. 4 multiplied by 10,000. This is also how you can do, or simply you can calculate the root. Root of 4 is 2. Root of 100 into 100 is 100. So it is 200 units. If you have forgotten how to calculate root, then just revise it once. You have to give full answer there. Okay. Calculating your answer out of root is compulsory. Otherwise your marks will be deducted. You cannot say, you cannot tell your manager, go and order root 40,000 units. No. You have to give the exact value. Now let's solve another example given in your book. Example 2. Check, this example is given on the screen. It says a bookshop sells 30,000 quantity per year. What does it mean? Annual demand D is 30,000 units. Then it says purchase cost is rupees 6. Purchase cost for the unit cost. I don't have to do anything with this cost. Holding cost we all know. Holding cost is carrying cost. Another name of holding cost is carrying cost. Carrying cost is C, and this is 20% of purchase cost. Now I have to use this purchase cost. 20% of purchase cost is rupees 6. So 20% of 6 is 1.2. Fine. So this is my C now. C is 1.2. Next, it says ordering cost is 500 per order. Ordering cost is P, which is cost of placing order. That is rupees 500 per order. Now, what to do? Very simple thing. Let's put these values in the formula. What's the formula? 2PD upon C. So 2P is cost of placing order, 500 given to you. D, annual demand, 30,000. And C, 1.2 is here. So how much you will get here? If I remove the decimal, 10 will come here. So 2 6th, this is 5,000. So the value is 2,20,000. 2 crore 50 lakhs. Now let's find out its root. Root of 25 is 5, 0, 1, 0, 1, 0 and 1, 0. So 5,000 units is your economic order quantity. Clear? Now let's move to the next topic. That is our reorder point. How to calculate reorder point. But first of all, understand what is reorder point. Now let's understand the concept of reorder point in the simplest way. Imagine you run a business that sells water bottles. One day you notice that only 600 bottles are left in your warehouse. Should you place a new order today? The answer depends on one very important factor called lead time. But what's lead time? Lead time means the time taken by the supplier to deliver the goods after you place the order. Suppose your supplier takes 2 months to deliver the inventory, and also your business sells 300 bottles every month. Now think carefully. If you place the order today, the new stock will arrive after 2 months. During these 2 months, your customer will continue buying those bottles. Since your monthly demand is 300 bottles, in 2 months, you will sell 300 into 2 is equal to 600 bottles. So this means by the time the new stock reaches your warehouse, your existing stock of bottles will be completely used up. Therefore, 600 units is the right time to place the order. Means this is the right time. Now you are having stock of 600 units with you. This is the right time for you to place the order. This stock level is called reorder point. So in simple words, reorder point is that minimum level of inventory at which a new order should be placed so that fresh stock arrives before the existing stock is exhausted. So how you calculate? I call reorder point as the alarm of my inventory system. When my inventory reaches at this particular level, it means it's an alarm for me to stock up, to order the quantity, to reorder. It is the time to order new quantity. That is why this point is called reorder point. This is the point which exactly tells us when to order. This is the point which tells me when to order. Means I reach at this point, it means this is the right time for me to order new quantity. How this reorder point is calculated? In case of this reorder point, see how you will calculate, how it is calculated that what is at what time. Now it is the time to stock up. Now it is the time to add new quantity. Now it is the time to place new order. How you will calculate? It will depend on two things. One is your average consumption. What is your average daily usage? Now you tell me, ma'am, on daily basis we consume 50 units. Very good. Then, and how much time does it take to receive, place and receive the new order? You told me, ma'am, it takes near about 10 days to receive the new order. Your average usage is 50. And how much time does it take to receive the new order? 10 days. So what does it mean? That when you will have the stock of 500 units, it is the right time for you to place the new order. Because till that time, new order will come. Till that time you will receive the new order, you can use these 500 units for your production. Agree? So see, let's see, I have a bottle here. Okay. And in this, I have 500 units. In this, I have 500 units. Okay. And these 500 units are enough for me to use for 10 days. And 10 days it takes to receive the new order. It takes 10 days to receive new order. It means once my stock will reach this 500 level, it is time for me to place the new order. Till the time, now I'll place the new order. Till the time new order will start pouring in, I can keep on using this stock will be depleted. And once it will be, till the time it will be depleted, my new stock will already be ready to be put in. Got it? This is your reorder point. But so what is the formula? This 10 days is called lead time. What is the formula of reorder? I don't want you to people learn the formula. I want you to understand the formula. Make the formula of your own. It's a common sense thing. So reorder point is average daily uses multiplied by lead time. Lead time matlab the time taken, the time gap between placing the order and receiving the order. But there is, I cannot be certain that there will always be demand of these 500 units only. There can be a probability that the person who is sending me the stock may face certain transportation delays. So there is a concept of safety stock which I have earlier explained you. So to be on the safer side, an entrepreneur always keeps some safety stock in his reorder point. So the full formula of reorder point is average daily uses multiplied by lead time plus safety stock. Let's do one question now. Write down one question. Calculate reorder point if an entrepreneur's monthly uses is 500 units and lead time is 2 months. To be on the safe side, an entrepreneur always keeps 100 units as safety stock. So let's calculate reorder point. What's the formula? Average uses. Now you see the average uses given to you is on monthly basis. So lead time is also given in months. Average uses multiplied by lead time plus safety stock. Average uses is 500, lead time is 2, safety stock is 100. So 1000 plus 100. 1100 units is the reorder point. Once the entrepreneur will have 1100 units in his stock, he will be ready to place the new order. His alarm will start clicking that now it's the time to place the new order. Now keep one thing in your mind, class 12. There is very less probability that this safety stock will be given to you in the question. If it's not given, well and good, do without safety stock. Then you just use this formula and calculate your this. I decided to add this safety stock in your question because in this year's board exam, CBSE has given question related to safety stock. That is why keep it in your mind. If safety stock is given, add it. If it's not given, it does not mean question is incomplete. It means it's not just given. Done? Now, write down one next question. Calculate reorder point if average daily usage is 1000 units and it takes 10 days to receive the order. Now you people will solve this question and write down your answer in the comment box. And like and subscribe the video and share it with your friends. Thank you. Now I am leaving the answer part for you. Pause the video, calculate the answer on your own and then write your final answer in the comment section. I will be checking your answers, so don't skip this step. To help you practice even more, I have also shared practice assignment on economic order quantity and reorder point in the description box. Download, solve all the questions, and strengthen your understanding in these concepts. Fine. So if you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up, share it with your classmates, and subscribe to the channel so you never miss any important class 12 entrepreneurship videos. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Happy learning.